Oh, jinkies, gamers, more trash. Yippee. The Star Wars Battlefront Classic Collection, which I've been looking forward to, turns out to be nigh unplayable. It's once again a revolting pile of garbage put into the landfill here, and I don't understand how you can even fumble this hard. So last night, 10,000 people tried to play on launch. Now it's a ghost town. Only 3 servers were available with 64 slots, so a total of about 200 players, which means you had better odds of making it into the NBA draft and getting selected than making it into one of these servers last night. The competition was fierce. You would have needed an actual Jedi-level midichlorian count to make it into this 200 exclusive slots available for this game. And if you didn't, you couldn't play the multiplayer, which is the main draw for the Battlefront Classic Collection, obviously, for 35 clams. 35 smackaroos here to basically just get declined from the frat party. That's outrageous. Like, $35 for the Classic Collection, I think, would be a reasonable price if everything was actually improved. Like, if they, made the visuals better, the multiplayer was super crisp, super clean, very tight, then I could understand that, because you're getting 2 full games, really. But as it stands, you're not even getting a game. You're getting slapped, spit on, and then beef stewed here bare ass by this company that's just exploiting your nostalgia. It's tragic. Why is it so fucking rare for games to release in a functional state on launch? And to add insult to injury, take a peek at this puppy. They didn't even bother to put any level of effort into making it a reasonable size. It is 72 fucking gigs! 72 gigs? Where does that extra bloat even come from for the bloat lord? What? How? I know I made a video ranting about this a while ago, how, like, every game is 50 plus gigs, even the simplest shit ever. Like, I guarantee if they remastered Pac-Man, somehow that'd come out to 55 fucking gigs at this point. Where is it even coming from? Are they just hiding uncompressed assets in the game just for fun? Like, oh, here's a rock that takes up an extra 5 gigs placed in the middle of Naboo for no fucking reason. Or, oh, it's a remaster, so on all the TIE fighters, we made sure to improve the windshield glass, so it's highly reflective and it's 15 trillion polygons, but it also added an extra 20 gigs worth of space required. Like, where is it even coming from? It doesn't make sense. The only explanation I can find is that it's bigger now because they had to make it more compatible for, like, Steam Deck and shit. But, like, that seems a little excessive, right? Like, that seems like a lot of extra space that came into play just for compatibility's sake. I don't know if that's necessarily it, but I'm also a goddamn Neanderthal, so perhaps it is. But I'm still very fucking tired of every game being like 50 plus gigabytes for no reason. These are 20-year-old games. They are 20-year-old games, and you did the bare minimum with the remaster to begin with. Why the fuck does it require 72 gigs? It's incomprehensible. Now, earlier this afternoon, I decided to hop into the Crucible myself to get a first-hand experience of this garbage, just to see if it really is as bad as everyone's making it out to be. It has mostly negative reviews on Steam. It's got like a 21%, which I think is alarmingly high if it barely works. So I spent like an hour and a half with this little shit stain, and I was able to find games for the most part, so it looks like they added more servers here so you can actually get into lobbies more frequently. But I almost wish that wasn't the case, because every game is unplayably laggy. Like, this guy's got me in a Dormammu time loop here. Like, everyone's teleporting around, rubber banding, disappearing, reappearing. It's like I'm caught in a fucking fever dream. And sometimes you'll just randomly get hit by, like, this invisible tornado that'll have you spinning around in circles, nauseating you. It's absolutely awful. I'd rather just not even be able to get into a game as opposed to having to see something that I loved turn out like this. There's also this fun little bug slash feature where if you try and search for a game, so like Hero Assault, if you look for a game type, it'll crash your game every single time. It doesn't matter what game mode you put in there, it seems like searching for anything immediately crashes it. I really wanted to play a little Hero Assault, so I wanted to try and find some of those bad boys, and unfortunately the only bad boy here was me for paying $35 for this miserable experience, or really lack thereof an experience. But like I said, it doesn't seem like it's exclusive to just Hero Assault, which is more of just an assault on your patience, having to restart the game every time. Like, even just searching for CTF here also caused the same problem to happen, where it just crashed it, which is a really frustrating little feature. Now for Battlefront 1, I was able to find one almost stable server where I'd only experienced rubber banding and lag like this like 20 times a match, which is an astronomical improvement over everything else I was getting throughout the afternoon. So I was able to actually play Battlefront 1 a little bit in this game right here, which for all I know, this is footage of the very first playable match since the Remaster Collection launched. Everything else has just been an absolute headache. At least this one was only lagging half of the time. So I was even able to hit this montage clip right here with that beautiful fucking collateral. Tell your friends. Eventually I was even able to find this unicorn, which was a somewhat stable Battlefront 2 lobby here. So I was able to play a little bit on this one and start fucking racking up crazy kill streaks. But it doesn't really excuse anything. If you have to spend like an hour and a half, 2 hours just to find 2 playable lobbies, there's definitely a fucking problem. Like, the game is released in an unforgivable state and charging $35 for it. What an absolute joke. Needless to say, I'm not impressed with the Remaster Collection, and I'm really getting super tired of games releasing in this kind of condition. There is no way they didn't know that 3 servers wasn't going to be enough. Like, they had to have known that. So on launch, most people couldn't even play it. Like, what do you stand to gain from that? Most of those players, I imagine, refunded it when they realized they weren't getting in. So even if you do fix it, they're not coming back. So all you do is lose money by doing that. Why wouldn't you prepare better? Why wouldn't you put more time into it to optimize it so that way more people would be able to play it? It just doesn't compute. Like, the amount of money you're saving by not introducing more servers or by not making the game run better, by putting no effort into optimizing the game, cannot be worth it in the long run, because you stand to gain so much more from people actually having access to it and wanting to play. Right now, it is so hard to enjoy this game, because even if you do put a lot of time into it, it's going to take a while to find a lobby that doesn't just suck shit. So you're better off spending the 35 clams on a game that actually works and is actually fun, like Helldivers 2, for instance. You can get so much more bang for your buck from anything that's not this remastered collection. Just an outrageous waste of time and money. I think it's just a quick cash grab trying to capitalize off everyone's nostalgia for Battlefront 1 and 2. I still remember Reddit used to be feral for Battlefront 2. At least once every 3 months there'd be like, does anyone else remember this hidden gem? And there's a picture of Battlefront 2. Does anyone else wish that there was a sequel to Battlefront 2? And then a picture of Battlefront 2. So I think they may have just been like brainwashed by r/gaming for their unbelievable love for Battlefront, that they thought they could just pump anything out and get like $1 million overnight for it, which I just don't see being the case, because this is not a good remaster. It doesn't even work hardly. Now, I know we did end up getting the Battlefront 3 and 4, and I hate this naming scheme where they just called it Battlefront and Battlefront 2 again, even though it's the 3rd and 4th of Battlefront series. But those 2 games never really scratched the itch that the OGs delivered, which is why so many people, including me, were excited for the Remaster Collection here to bring it back, pump some life into it, and just get that blast of early 2000s gaming nostalgia. Like, of course, not all of the mechanics and everything are going to age well, but you can at least make the experience smooth, so that way you can still have a good time playing it and appreciating it, which is what I was expecting, and not what I got. This game is a pile of dog shit, and I cannot believe that they are charging $35 for it. It's not worth it. That's really about it. So yeah.